Hi, friends. My name is Kenton Whitman, and together with my family, we aim to share wilderness skills, mindfulness practices, wild edible plants, family adventures, and skills that break you free from the limits of civilized life. Join us by subscribing to our channel and joining our YouTube family. Hello, friends. Long before Rebecca and I had our ReWild University YouTube channel, we had a blog, and it was called Wild About Nature. You can still find that blog on the Wayback Machine, and I will leave a link in the description for this video if you want to check it out. Now, there weren't tons of people coming to that blog, but one day we wrote an article on the red velvet mite. And boy, were we surprised at how many comments started to roll in. A lot of these comments were from India or from people who had grown up in India. And they called the red velvet mites Boochies and recalled many instances of having captured them in their childhood or seen them after rainy monsoon days and had them as little pets. Ever since then, I've been pretty enchanted with the Boochies. You've probably seen them out in field or forest. They're these tiny little creatures that look like they are made out of red velvet. Scientists are still trying to fully understand the lives of these little beings. It seems that they eat the creatures who eat decomposers. So they wander around and primarily feed on these predators of decomposers. And in that way, the Boochies help to keep the decomposition process running smoothly by balancing out that predator-prey relationship on a really small scale. As you probably know, there's little animals, little insects and such that go around and help to decompose the logs that fall in the forest, dead animals, leaves that come off in the autumn. All of these require those little decomposers, and the red velvet mites help to keep the world a little bit safer for those decomposers. Another thing that really enchants me about these red velvet mites is that, to me, they seem to teach us something about the operation of the human mind. What I'm referring to is that not too long ago, we would have looked at these Boochies and we would have seen them only as tiny machines that are running around performing some kind of role in the ecosystem. This comes from a mechanistic view of the world that is, well, we're shifting away from it. But for a long time, it's been the dominant worldview, and a lot of people still hold to that worldview. We now know that science is beginning to get glimpses of a deeper interrelationship with everything in nature. This has been especially prevalent in learning more and more about the wood wide web and the interconnections between the fungi and various plants, including trees. There's so much to learn. And to me, these Boochies, whenever I look at them, they stir something inside me that suggests to me that as we learn more about these red velvet mites over the next 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, they're going to be one of the beings that begins to teach us about a deeper, again, interconnectedness, maybe even a consciousness that runs through all of what we see and experience in the world. Perhaps related to that thought is the love life of these red velvet mites. These creatures that we could easily see as just tiny little red velvety machines, they have a surprisingly remarkable love life. And here's what they do. One scientist has referred to it as the building of love nests by the males. The male will choose an area that well, we're not quite exactly sure what they're choosing for. But they will choose this area and seem to decorate it with these little deposits of sperm. Then a female will come along, assess the love nest, make a decision whether to accept the aesthetics or whatever it is of that love nest as opposed to the next one down the line. And if she goes for it, she will come in, sit on top of one of those packets of sperm and be fertilized. One thing is for sure, and that is that these red velvet mites are beautiful to observe and very enchanting. Though they are related to spiders and ticks, they do not bite or in any way harm human beings. They are a magical creature that children can pick up in their hands and look at and observe, or curious adults. And hopefully they will stimulate your curiosity about the world the next time you see one going about its mysterious business on the forest floor. My big hope for this video is that it can be a reincarnation, essentially, of that long ago blog post on Wild About Nature blog. And what I'm hoping happens is that some folks from India or people that grew up in India will start to leave some comments down below talking about the Boochies and the role that they played in your childhood. If you did not grow up in India, you probably still had Boochies in your childhood, especially if you were roaming through field and forest. Maybe you grew up in Texas or Michigan or France, wherever it is. If Boochies played some role in your childhood or life, share it in the comments below. All right, my friends, love to you all and cannot wait to see what you have to say down there in the comments.